All right. I'd just like to announce we have a winner. It is a race to the first pentakill of the season. And my word, holo, 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 holo. I love it. At the last 5 seconds, Huni pulls freaking through with a pentakill assisted by Adrian to cap off a miraculous week for me. A miraculous week for everyone who has Huni on their team, and I'm pretty sure that's like in every single league. I'd be surprised if he wasn't picked up. So there you go. Max wins the pentakill mini game. I don't even know what we're playing for, but you know I still have the bragging rights for having the first pentakill this season.
God damn it.
Take it away, Dan.
Alright, well.
Dan, you know what's the worst part?
Do I need to mail you this? Wait, where's
the worst
part? All I
mail
got
you
to,
this?
This is all I have for me, man.
Shut down.
Anyways, so
the worst part is your AD carry gave the penta to him.
I know! He gave him a free pentakill. Like, what the shit? And I had him on my bench, too. Son of a bitch. But yeah, anyways, welcome to the All-In Fantasy LCS podcast, guys, where we recap every week of the LCS, make predictions for the coming LCS week, and also talk about our own All-In Fantasy LCS League. If you would like to skip ahead in the video to a specific segment, just click all the way in the top over here. Wait. Specific segment in the video. Did somebody change my welcome? Click over here.
Bottom right of the screen. I'm pretty sure it's
segment.
bottom right of the screen because I did the overlay.
And then you can click down here
We'll figure it
for the
out.
subscribe button. But over here, I'll put where you can skip ahead to the other scenes.
Hey Dan, if it turns out you're wrong, you should just mirror the entire video.
No, I can see myself.
I
It's
did
right
the
here.
overlay. I'm pretty sure it's at the bottom right. I'm pretty sure it's at the bottom right of the overlay.
Yeah, I know, but you guys don't see what I see. It's right here, trust me. I can see my OBS. It's right here. Right.
Okay.
All right.
So for those that want to follow along with our All-In Fantasy LCS League, head over to the description box below for the link that will take you directly to our most recent week's matchups. Without further ado, here is our LCS Week 6 recap.
Oh yeah, and for
All right.
previous episodes,
We're just gonna start really.
click up there. Previous episodes. Okay.
All right. Okay. Since we're stuck in Toronto, so I guess it's we should do NA scene. I mean the NA scene first, but technically we should do EU. So maybe next week we'll do EU first. But let's talk about the first game of day one. We have Energy, who beat out Team Dignitas, and I just want to point out that Ganked by Mom is literally the new Keen of this split because he's pulling out these random picks such as Zillion and now the Karma. This is the week for me because Quinn gets a pentakill and then Karma gets played twice. So you know, like as much as excitement I have for this game because like Ganked by Mom picked Karma, it was actually a really boring game. Low kills. Wasn't a lot of action. It was basically a poke disengage, and then eventually Energy literally just kind of dismantled Dignitas from like rotations and kind of macro play. No one really scored a lot of points this game, unfortunately. I think the final score was like 8-2. That's like really little for an LCS game. But then Energy as a team, they scored 18 points for that game, so that was like pretty good. If you happen to have Energy as the team, I guess like you'd be pretty happy with the 18 points. They won. They didn't get first blood. Energy is a really trash team at getting first blood, but they did get 2 dragons, 1 baron, 10 towers, and they dismantled Dignitas in under 30 minutes. So that's a grand total of 18 points, and yeah, but that's basically it for that game. It was actually quite boring. Any thoughts, guys?
I think Dignitas is pretty trash, so they should have won that game anyways.
I would say Dignitas is pretty
Hold that
trash,
thought.
but...
Hold that thought for day 2.
Yeah, up to this point, Dignitas is pretty trash.
All right. Yeah. So I guess Like in lieu of time, I think we were only going to highlight players that scored exceedingly well, and unfortunately, no one scored well this game. Even Gang by Mom, who went like 4-1-4, he didn't score like more than 20, like low 20s. So
He didn't
we're
make
just
the
not
cut.
even going to talk about him. Yeah, he didn't make the cut, but like Energy as a team, they did pretty well. And usually Energy, they don't score so well as a team. They all never get first blood, and it's just like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I guess let's move on to the next game, which is severely more interesting. I think we can all agree because it was Renegades, which is basically a bottom feeder team versus the top dog.
Yeah, it's
And
literally the
Renegades
best
put up a
versus
really
the
good
worst.
fight for. Yeah, Renegades honestly put up a really good fight for the first 15 minutes, but then it's like that 15-minute horizon that Immortal sets. It's like, oh, time's up. The game ends now.
Renegades
So-
has given Immortals the closest game they've had so far, and it wasn't even close.
I would give the first matchup with Immortals TSM. They're up there. For I guess for Immortals record, I mean for Renegades record, they did give Immortals a temporary run for their money, but yeah, they actually held the entire Immortals team to like very little points. Like no one really scored that much, and like other than Adrian who scored 20 plus, which is really good for a support. No one scored over 25 points. So like if someone scored like 23 points, that's not bad. But then if
Yeah,
it's
still pretty
Immortals,
good
you expect
for the
them
average
to like
player. But we want to only talk about the amazing players.
yeah.
And the other
Yeah,
thing
so,
too is like, what's his name? Rainover. He played a jungle rumble in the jungle. And,
Oh yeah, Rumble in the Jungle.
Korean Jungle Rumble.
Yeah.
But this doesn't really fit his playstyle because we know him as like a really ganky and a lot of CC type of jungler. So that maybe has something to do with it. I don't know. Do you think he's gonna try it
They
again?
kind of had the comp to work around it. They
Yeah.
had the comp to play with the Jungle Rumble. They just played sloppy as shit, honestly.
Do you think
Yeah,
he's
from
gonna try
experience playing Jungle Rumble, yes, I think Jungle Rumble is like it's pretty strong. It gets picked like really often in Korea and China. The good thing is the clear speed is fast,
it again?
and once you hit 6, you basically have a mini nocturnality where you can gank from like a really far away. Plus you do damage, and you kind of cover Rumble's weakness, which is like the first 3 levels where you can really get abused, and you just kind of bypass that. So Rumble Jungle is pretty good, and obviously this patch Runic Echo was pretty strong. So yeah, Rumble, Jungle Rumble. All right, anything else to talk about Immortals before I actually go off on Huni? Okay, well,
This wasn't even the game though.
I have an issue with Huni's playstyle. I know he got the pentakill in game 2, but I have an issue with Huni's playstyle, and I'm
Okay.
pretty sure like people who have Huni on the fantasy team know that because that guy is ham. That guy goes in and he loves those 1-for-1s, which is good for the team, but they're terrible for fantasy.
Yeah, it's all about the morale.
Yeah, it's all about the morale. He's a great team player, but he's terrible for fantasy. So like I wouldn't trade Huni away, but it's just one of those double-edged sword type of deals.
I know they always say like they don't take any team for granted or anything like that, but I don't know. I think this game against the Renegades was definitely like a slight wake-up call for them. They'd be like,
They took Renegades for granted.
yeah, but
Yeah.
at least they didn't try Rumble Jungle on like a higher tier team, right? So
Yeah. I'm
Rumble
telling you,
Jungle
Rumble
is not
Jungle,
the
it's
issue.
not bad. It's not bad.
Rumble
It's
Jungle-
tried and proven. It's tried and proven in LCK.
Rainover just has to get good at it.
No,
Yeah.
Rainover just
And you
has
know
to stop wandering around aimlessly in the other jungle for like no good reason, because he never does that, except that game. He just kind of
Alright,
like wandered around over Chase and died a bunch, and they're like, lol, whoops.
You got the turtle syndrome.
Yeah.
Alright. TSM versus C9.
This was a nice game.
That was a good game. Everyone
That was
scored
a-
1 billion points.
Yeah.
Besides
I think
Yellowstar.
if C9 is starting to have the playstyle where they're playing freaking slugfest, I'm gonna pick up the entire C9 squad. Cause
That's what it seems like right now.
okay, first of all, they put They finally put Rush back on Lee Sin, which, as a comfort pick, you should do that. Watching Rush on Lee Sin is like the most exhilarating thing ever, because you're watching him going, it's like, guys, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. And he does it, and he does it well.
I've been waiting for him to stop playing Nidalee for like 4 weeks now.
Yeah. Yeah. He was being a huge tease with that Nunu. It's almost like it was like a slap to my face. And then he goes on Lee Sin, it's like, oh, of course you're on Lee Sin.
Dude, okay. That game, I turned on the stream and it was in Champ Select and it was like double lift on Kog'Maw. And Lulu was banned and they didn't have Alistair and they didn't have Tom Kench and they didn't have any steroids for Kog'Maw and it was literally just a Braum ult. Nice, Max. Smooth.
Sorry. I can't find the mute button.
It was literally just like a Braum ult and nothing else, and I'm like, well, this is the shittiest Protect the Cog comp I've seen so far.
Yeah, it was really
bad. It was, and also can I say that Doublelift is the second worst Kog'Maw build I've seen, next to Forgiven.
Build. There's Mercurial Cemetery, Blade of the Rune King, Rune's Hurricane.
No, he went
Frozen
he went Frozen Mallet. He went Frozen Mallet because the rest of his team had no CC, but he like desperately needed like Asterix or something.
It's so funny.
Because he just kept on getting one shot by the double IE Essence Reaver Gangplank. It's like, okay, here's the other reason they lost. They didn't ban Gangplank.
And,
All right, so who wants to talk about points? Who wants to talk about points for this game? Because that's a lot of high-scoring people.
I'll talk about the guys.
I think everyone knows he scored 1 billion points.
Okay, well, TSM.
Okay, I guess
really
Dan
good.
go through TSM.
Even though TSM lost, they still got 16 points. That's ridiculous if you're the losing team. Okay, they lost, but they got first blood. They got 3 dragons, 1 baron, and 9 turrets, which still managed to get them 16
They
points.
lost, but they were winning until the second last team fight, where Doublelift walked into melee range and just got wrecked by that GP barrel.
Like, you're not going to see often that a team loses and still gets 15 points or more. So that's pretty good on TSM's part. I have Bjergsen, so I was pretty happy with him. Even though he had a lot of deaths, his kills still made up for it. He had 8 kills, 6 deaths, 8 assists, 248 CS. And I think that was it. And he had a total of 27.48 points that game.
Yo, I was bummed. I had Jensen on the bench. Dude got 40.
Guy had a 70-point week. Holy crap!
It didn't matter though. I still scored the highest in the league.
All right, it's okay.
Imagine I had Jensen in the
scored.
lineup. Would have broke like 1 billion points.
I think Dan just raised a really good point. Like, Bjergsen died a lot, but then he also scored a lot of points. I think deaths only really matter when it's like a low kill game, because, you know, deaths
You're not getting
are
anything for them.
deaths are worth like negative half a point. But then kills are worth 2 and assists are worth like 1.5. So when you get to like a more astronomical number, like racking up deaths is not like as relevant as when you have lower points. So like when you're up to like 6 deaths, but like you have like 20 total KD, like KA, then deaths don't really matter.
Yeah,
so like I don't mind dying. It's like
It takes 3 deaths to negate 1 assist. So really, like, it's not that big of a deal to have a really good KDA. You guys can still draft the guys or pick guys up with lots of deaths if they're contributing a lot to the team in assists and kills.
Yeah.
Like Jensen only had 4 kills. Dude had 19 assists.
Who?
Jensen, he only had like 4
Jensen.
kills to get 40 points.
Do you pick up assists from like? Wait, who was he playing? He was playing TF, was it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, like do you get an assist if you like do your destiny and like you get vision?
No.
Do you get assists?
I always question
No.
that
I doubt
about
it.
Ash's hawk shot too.
Okay, I guess moving on to the rest of TSM. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the rest of TSM. Double Lift, which is the main carry, he looked like he was going to take over the game until he got barreled. 947,
Until he got
431 CS.
Soraka rooted.
Yeah. Okay, 30 points, which is pretty good. 30 points, pretty good. Yellow Star, he got 25.72 points, which is really good for a support. He got more points in one game than like Feb week. Screw Febvin. Pauls, woo, 40 points, 9-1-11 with like almost 500 CS. Holy crap! Balls carried the game. It's like it gives hope to all the Diamond 2s in the
This
League of Legends
is-
scene. It's like we wonder.
What is this guy's name? The
Well, he
guy
got
that
GP,
wrote-
right?
Yeah, he got GP, which is his main, sort of. I think that's his main.
I have to finally give credit to the guy that wrote the pre-draft article, and he's like so big on balls and everything. Made me draft him too. I think his name's Josh Augustine or something. Your guy finally paid off for you.
All right.
Week 6. Your guy finally paid off for you. Too bad I
Hey,
don't
guess who
him
I have in
anymore.
my roster now?
Balls.
I
God
got
damn
him.
it.
Got the Diamond 2.
I needed
got
another
the
All
top
right,
one, too.
I just hope he like only plays GP now. No one bans it against him.
Oh wow, boy, do I have news for you in game 2. Alright. High 1622. Once again, 6 is a lot of deaths, but since he has like 22 assists to kind of even it out, like 6 deaths doesn't matter. He got 34 points, which is really astronomical for a support player. Yo, buddy, those fools, Jensen. 40 points because he has like 19 assists and like 330 CS. Woo! Rush. Oh man, Rush. I think Rush has like a lot of balls, big balls. 4-4, 13, 173, but he was like the main engage, and he was the one who was constantly going in. He was making flashy at least in place, so props to him.
Rush
Sneaky.
was the reason that
Yeah.
Double Lift did absolutely nothing because he would just like run at Double Lift and Double Lift would turn on W and then he'd be like lol nope and dash away and then GP ult would come down. Double Lift would be like well fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Rush caused enough chaos to like eat the first wave of W, and then yeah, afterwards in the downtime C9 just took over. Let's see, Sneaky, 35 points. That's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't feel like he did much because like there's a lot of focus on like Jensen plays and like Rush plays and high plays to like
Right.
help Rush stay alive. But then Sneaky got 35 points. That's pretty good. And yeah, Sneaky actually helped me win the week.
Clean up.
But then
He was just the consistent cleanup after they like.
yeah, he
dunked
was just
your-
close.
He's really starting to make like kind of get back into the top 80 carry scenes because he kind of fell out
Yeah.
early season.
C9's starting to win a bunch again.
Yeah, but now he's
Yeah.
starting to get back. Maybe he's getting a better synergy with High now as a support.
Yeah,
That could
definitely.
be a big factor in his.
Yeah, it helps that Jensen
Second
and
coming.
Rush is doing a lot better as well. Yeah. So the current trend is C9 loves that slugfest. Like they go ham every game, and you can see that in game 2 as well, where they just go like, whatever, we're going in, boys. Let's body those fools. And yeah, so if you have C9 players, I think that's gonna
46
bode
kills
well.
that game.
Yeah, if you have C9 players on your roster, I think that bodes really well because damn, they fight. All right, so who watched the CLG TIP game? Because I had to take a break after that TSM game, so I didn't watch it.
I didn't manage to watch anything on
I
day
didn't
one
watch
NA.
it.
That's the only day I didn't watch.
All right,
But I did
okay,
look up the
I did watch the
stats.
highlights for that game. Yeah, okay, I did watch the highlights. So I watched like the 5-minute video of like a summarize, and once again it's just like just systematic CLG like out rotation. I think Xmithy did really well that game. He's handling his inner hotshot GG, and he got 508 on his Nidalee jungle, which is whoa. Xmithy hitting skill shots. But yeah, Xmithy has been playing very well as of late. He scored 23 points, which is pretty good. It was like a really short game because once again CLG dismantled someone in under 30 minutes, and Xmithy got 23 points. His average is like 14 points a game, so that's it's a pleasant surprise if you have Xmithy on your team. But then once again, CLG the team, 20 points. They got the win. They didn't get first blood, but they did get 3 dragons, 1 baron, 11 turrets, which is the entire map, and they won in
Less
Did they
than
win
30
under 30
minutes.
minutes? Yeah, they won in under
Yeah.
30 minutes. So they got 20 points, which is pretty rare for a team.
It's pretty
I
solid.
think the maximum you can get is like. Oh, actually, technically the maximum is infinite because you get infinite dragons, but usually like 22 points is like as
Yeah.
high as you can get.
Infinite dragons and barons. But that game would be super.
I
good.
believe-
You have like an
I believe-
hour-long game and get every Baron on cooldown.
All
Yeah,
turrets.
I picked up
Yeah.
CLG. I believed, and he scored
yeah.
20
I think
for me.
CLG the team is a very good pickup. I mean, like CLG is winning, so they're good. I don't think we've like harped on this like week after week, but each individual player they don't score too much on a consistent basis. Like Darshan maybe, Huhi occasionally, Stixay occasionally, but then if you pick up the team, they do really well.
I've been holding, like, I've had Darshan on my roster for almost the entire split so far, and he hasn't had, like, any exceptionally high scoring weeks, just bad scoring weeks and okay scoring weeks. CLG doesn't score very many points for their players because it doesn't get bloody.
Yeah. Systematic disintegration. Alright, so final game of day one. TL versus Echo Fox. Hey, the toucan has arrived. I know I dropped Keith, but yeah, with Froggen back, yeah. So Echo Fox looks a lot better, and Keith had a huge defense against Team Liquid, which allowed them to push to the win. Big scored really well. The support got 26 points, which is like fantastic. Once again, the support getting more than like 20 or 25 points is like pretty rare. But it was like a long game, so he got like 15 assists, and like for playing Alistar, I think it was only one death. That's pretty good. Froggen, as usual, did really well. 6-3-10. He's looking really good right now. And Keith McBrief, 936, 518 CS. He got one quadra kill, and so he got 36.58 points. That's like way over his season average. But then like,
Are you gonna get baited?
yeah,
to
obviously
pick him up
Echo
again?
Fox. I'm not gonna get baited. I'm gonna pick up Froggen, but I'm not gonna pick up Keith. I have enough 80 carries.
Did you talk about
Given
Echo
and sneaky, I'm
Fox's
okay.
stats? I missed it.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, they did
Echo
pretty
Fox
good,
win
too.
first blood, 4 dragons, 2 barons, 8 towers, another 20 points. Oof.
Yep, 20 points.
But yeah,
Pew, pew.
In a world
Yeah,
where
TL
Echo
has
Fox
really
gets
been-
20 points.
That's huge.
I
He scored
can't
actually a lot that week.
Yeah, that's actually Echo Fox, Team Liquid's kind of down in the dishes. So Echo Fox faces real challenge next week. I think they're facing TSM and then Immortals, and that'll be depending on how close they get to either teams, that'll be a good indication if they're really worth the hype.
Yeah, I mostly
Yeah.
want to see KFO play against good, what's it called? Top laner? Or, yeah.
No, I don't know. They're facing Tip. They're facing Tip and TSM next week, I think. No?
Is it Tip and TSM? I'm pretty sure they're facing Immortals.
It's TSM at least. I don't think Immortals.
Yeah, I think it's TSM and Immortals.
Mhm.
But yeah, anyways, that pretty much wraps up for day one. I'm just gonna also quickly go through day two, and we're gonna talk about Renegades and CLG. CLG got scammed. Dan, do you want to talk about it? Justice
Yeah.
to CLG.
Well, basically, they could have had a total of 19 points, but so they got the win. They got the 3 dragons. They got 1 baron, 10 turrets, and from when I was watching the game, they finished the game at 2 minutes and 58 seconds. That's when the Nexus started blowing up. But apparently, they take all the animation.
30 minutes and 2 seconds.
29 minutes and 58
30 minutes and 2 seconds.
That's when the Nexus blew up. Okay, but then they waited for all the animations to come in, and then the victory animations to come in, and then when you check the match history, it said 30 minutes and 2 seconds. So they got scammed 4 animation seconds for that 2 points.
Yo, don't you need those 2 points?
If you have CLG on your team and you lost by 2 points, I'm sorry.
Exactly. If you had CLG and you lost by 2 points, sad days for you. Blame Riot.
Yeah. Blame Riot. You should have it's like one of those single player games. You should have press enter to skip cutscene.
Yeah, because that's what I was watching the
All
entire
right, so
time. I was like,
then
how quickly can they take down the Nexus? Come on, can they do it within 30 minutes? I'm like, yes, they did it within 30 minutes. They had 2 seconds to go. And then after I checked the thing, it was like 30:02. Like, what the hell?
yeah. But 37 points for CLG. That's still like 37 points for the week. That's still pretty good. So 20 points from game 1 and 17 points from game 2. That's pretty good. If you have CLG, you'd definitely be happy. If you have Xmithy for whatever reason, you'd be pretty happy too because he went 2-113, 142 CS, the 10 plus KDA, KA rate plus 2 points, and so he got 26.42. So he had like a 45-point week. Not even. He got like it's like a 50-point week, isn't it? Almost. He's like almost 50-point week. That's like pretty good for Xmithy. It's like out of the blue. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And,
I
who do you
have
actually did
Vitality
to-
on my bench. If Vitality scored like 40 that week.
I'll
So,
trade you Vitality.
no, it's okay, I believe.
Alright, so Huhi went 5-2-10, 281 CS, so he got 28 points, which is pretty high scoring for a CLG member. So like, if you have Huhi, then you should be pretty happy. But yeah, other than that, it's like a pretty generic CLG game. Renegades kind of fell back to earth. It's like their 15 minutes to fame just kind of fizzled out, but that's pretty much expected. So let's move on to game 2. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Alright, Dan, you have a TSM on your team. Do you want to talk about this game?
So first, I want to point out that Tao last week, she said that Dignitas always somehow gives TSM a really, really hard time. And yeah, they did. I don't know what the hell happened, but TSM had control of the game early on, and the thing is, for some reason, near the end of the game, they start falling off. I guess it's because of the Quinn pick by Hanser into the Malphite. That's always a pretty bad idea. And eventually, Dignitas got back into the game and they won. Nobody really did exceptional in the game, but the team, Dignitas as a team, if you have them in your lineup for whatever reason, good job on you. But I don't know why you would, but whatever the reason, they had a win, 1 dragon, 2 barons, and 10 turrets for a total of 17 points. But it's unlikely that anybody benefited from these 17 points on their league. If you did, let me know.
Immortals
good job
is
on you.
gonna go. Immortals is gonna go 17-1 this split, and their one loss is going to be to Dignitas.
And then
No, I was really impressed by that sneaky play by Kiwi Kid, where they were doing Baron and he snuck in like the banana brush, and then Double Lift just like face checked and he just got manhandled by that flank from Kiwi Kid. That was like the best thing I ever saw.
And then because of this loss,
That was-
that actually was the first 0-2 week for TSM in a pretty damn long time. I don't even know if they've ever gone 0-2 in a single week. But
And I'm
Yes,
pretty
that's
sure they got it a
15.
couple times.
this is definitely a wake-up call for them. They need to figure out what the hell is going on.
I
But
think even
they
in
know
an
they don't need a
8-man
coach.
league, yeah, I think even in an 8-man league, not a lot of people are going to reach down to like Dignitas. I'm thinking like maybe a couple of people might have Shifter, but then
Boys.
this game is pretty much all tears and no joy for like people playing fantasy because I really doubt how many people actually have Dignitas players.
No, the
Seriously.
Dignitas
Or Apollo.
fanboys, you're underestimating them.
Let us know if you have Dignitas in your lineup. Just put in the comments below. I want to know. And then I want to ask you why. Okay, next game.
Alright, so Energy versus C9. I guess Energy, Game Time Mom shouldn't pick 2 champions in a row because like the shine just wears off. Unfortunately, this Karma pick didn't do. Actually, it did pretty well, but as a team, it just didn't go through. It's like I was watching him play Karma really closely because like I'm like
A fan.
kind of a Karma main.
Mhm.
And yeah, he played Karma to a T. He did really well. He poked really hard, but unfortunately his team didn't come through. So Cloud9 got 17 points this game. They got the win. They got the first blood. They got 3 dragons, 1 baron, 8 towers, and for 17 points. And this caps off like a tremendous C9 team run. And once again, if you have C9 this week, you are getting a hard one.
I'm like so disappointed in Energy. I was like, oh man, you know what? GBM's a beast. He's gonna like show NA how to play Ori and shit. He's just plays like one weird champion a week now. I'm like, Impact solid, but he doesn't really play the carries.
Yeah.
and he
They're
really
not letting
needs to
impact
because
play
nobody
carries.
else is gonna do it. Alltech I thought was pretty good, and he's just been kind of disappointing me not doing anything. And they need to find a replacement for Moon.
They need another Korean speaker, so
No. She
no.
wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
You know what
Alright,
though?
so mhm.
If Energy had like a Rush or somebody, that would be kind of legit.
I think okay. Rush played Lee Sin again, and he was like a monster in Lee Sin. You should just keep playing Lee Sin. He didn't score particularly well, but then like on paper, he passed the eye test. He looked really good. Hai got 26 points. Yep. So Hai did really well as support. Two kills, 5 deaths, 15 assists, 22 CS, but he gets like bonus for 10 plus, so he got 26.22 points, so that's pretty good. He caps off like a 50 point week.
You know what I like
Sneaky,
about that,
6-4-10, he got...
With High, if you watch like some of his early season games, like he was still making a big impact by shot calling and everything like that. But if you looked at his stats and everything, they were very low, even in terms of assists and everything. So he's helping more in terms. He should get assists for shot calling, but now you can tell like his games, he's getting a lot more involved in team fights and everything like that, or he's making a bigger difference at least. And I think that could also be a big reason why C9 is doing well. So I don't know, maybe this means that he's learned his role and time to train Bunny.
So if it takes half a split for Hai to learn a role, he'll like be able to just play everything by summer split, right?
Yeah, it's about time to get Bunny Fufu back in.
Yeah, he just needs bench balls. All right.
Balls is doing
so
good though.
Sneaky got 6-4-10. Sneaky got 6-4-10, and he got 30 points. But I saw that last kill. He should have ended with 7 kills, but Balls KS'd him at that last game. I have Sneaky on my team, so I've been watching every single time Sneaky gets KS'd, and I'm not happy because Sneaky got 30 points, ended the week with 65 points, which is really amazing.
Hey, but,
I have nothing to complain about.
But if Sneaky ended up getting that kill, he would only have gotten 0.5 extra points for that one kill
That's
instead
true.
of an assist, and he wouldn't have his 10 plus assists. So you should thank Balls.
But that was okay. But he got a double kill that play. So if he got the triple, that would still be plus 2 points.
I guess so.
Because he flashed over the wall with Balls to get that kill on the Golem camp. I forgot who it was, but that was he got a double kill, and then he was gonna get a triple, but Balls KS'd him.
Okay,
So,
so you would have
you're
been up.
salty because you could have gotten half a point more.
Yeah, you would have been
Yes.
up 0.5 points.
No, it's 10 plus kills or assists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but then he was about to get a triple kill, which was 2 points.
Yeah, so if he had the triple kill,
there's
he
like
would have
this-
7 kills, 4 deaths, 9 assists.
And 9 assists.
Instead
So
of
he would have
getting
gotten
the
like
2
that extra
points,
2.5 points.
Yeah. He would have got 2 points plus
So, anyways,
2
moving
points
on.
instead of
Yep.
1.5 plus 2 points.
Yeah.
Simple math,
Jensen
we're Asian.
capped off a 70-point week.
74,
Jensen-
man. He was riding my
Yeah.
bench.
How often does a player get 70 plus points? I think Jensen's like the first player to 70 points this week. I mean, this split. I think we should have another mini game to see who hits 70 points first. So 7-3, 11, 294 CS, 10 plus. He got the bonus for 10 plus, and he got 34.94 points. And C9 caps off their amazing week 6, and I have nothing to complain about, and I'm just going to go like Sneaky won me the week. I mean, Huni 10 to kill definitely helped, but I think I'm going to donate to Sneaky's stream because he literally clawed me back from like 50 points down. Alright, so next game, TIP versus EF once again to like take a break, but I know that they had another Protect Illusion comp for Keith, and Keith went 406 with 21 points. 21.94 points, and Froggen went 408 with 25.2 points, so I guess now we have a pretty interesting duel. I think Big came up big as well. And yeah, he 0-0-10 on Alistar, 22 CS, and he got 17.22 points, even though he didn't like hit the 20 point threshold that we like to look out for, but he played really big this game. Okay, no, that's he played really well this game. Okay, guys. Yeah, he played really well this game, and I think I'm gonna keep a lookout on him. If Echoflux continues to do really well, then I might actually pick him up because the support pool in NA does look kind of skinny. I guess the support pool anywhere does look kind of skinny. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for him. And Team Liquid versus Immortals. Ooh. Holo, 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 holo.
Ah, this game, man, brings tears to my eyes.
All right, we're gonna touch onto this game and like the
In depth.
importance of this game between me and Dan, because yeah, well, we're gonna touch on this later. But obviously, we have the first ever pentakill of the 2016 Spring Split, which is on Huni, on Quinn. This is like my wet dream come true because you know I'm a dirty Quinn main since release. So Huni ended with 906 to 248 CS. He got one pentakill and he ended the game with like 41.48 points, which is notorious POB, 3111, 239 CS, and he got 26 points, which is pretty good for a mid laner. Ended like probably like 50-point week.
And Adrian playing solid
Adrian,
as usual. He's got 0013, 32 CS. Always getting me around 20 points. I'm happy with him.
You know what? Wild Turtle was Immortal's lowest point scorer this week.
It was Huni's week, man.
You know how Huni said he's okay with being transitioning into like 80 carry? Now you have like 80 carries playing in top lane, so why not?
Best of both worlds.
Yeah, so Immortals as a team, once again, they did really well. They got the win, they got the first blood, 1 dragon, 1 parent, 8 towers, and under 30 minutes, 17 points. Wow, what a dismantle.
Is this like the first time in weeks where someone's picked Quinn into not a Malphite?
Yes. And I know for a fact that Huni is the only person with Quinn wins in like probably the entire LCS. I've kept track of like
No, there was an EU team who
Vitality
Quinn
beat
into mid.
H2K with Quinn mid.
Yeah.
So what they did was like they picked Quinn and they baited the Malphite top lane, and then they switched it to mid lane Quinn, which is what all the Koreans and all the Chinese teams do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
LCS finally adapting to this stupid Malphite counter pick, like the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
Took like 4 weeks of being picked into to figure out.
So this entire game, I was just watching because we were so damn friggin' close. I was just like, come on, Huni, just die. I just wanted him to die. We knew they were gonna win. He just needs to die. And then, like, just as I'm saying this guy comes up with that penta right at the end of the game. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, even with your penta, your damn friggin' penta, and I'm getting the assist, you just completely shit on me out of nowhere. Like, it was a sad day for me. I was excited because of the penta, but, you know, I think I was the one that got shit on in the chest today.
Max, I would like to thank you for beating Dan, because now when he beats me next week, we'll be tied again.
Oh my god. I don't even know if I can beat you anymore. Everyone's teams are strong now. God damn it.
Dude, you still have G2. You still have like all of G2.
I guess that's a good transition point into I think that's a good transition point into EU. You have some pretty exciting matches as well. Alright, Zisha, you're the EU master because you don't have to work 9 to 5 schedule.
And I had what, reading week? Yeah, so
Yeah.
alright. Origin beats Elements, but Origin shit, and they had like, okay, I did the math. They had a 57% kill participation on average between their 5 players. So they all scored like shit anyways, and didn't even matter that they won. Their team gets 16 points. None of their players are noteworthy point scorers, and it's like if you had Origin, it's like, well, that didn't even feel like a win. And then their next was Rocket versus Splice, which nobody cares about, but
yeah,
Betsy was scored 34 points. This is 10-2-4, 300 CS. Gets a
Someone has to
triple.
put up numbers
It's 2
in
triples.
a clash of like crappy teams.
You got 2 triples that game.
You know what? When crappy teams face crappy teams, they actually score pretty well because a lot of the time it gets pretty bloody. It's
It's
just
just
that
clown fiestas.
like you have to drop them whenever. You have to like have crappy team not face a good team at all for an entire week, and then maybe they'll have 2 okay games,
Yeah.
and then you have to drop them immediately after. But yeah, they can get pretty bloody. And then what? Extinct gets 21 points. Tabs gets 26 points. Tabs goes 509.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I think the thing with like crappy teams is like, yes, it's true that they get like really good points, but then you just remember that I don't know anyone in the crappy teams. Is Tabs even doing good anymore? Wait, I thought he was like the Fizz main. What?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. If you see like a week that's nothing but Clash of Bottom teams, I think it's worth looking into. Other than that,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if your like only players are like Origin and you've lost all faith in SOAS. All right, what's after that? Unicorns of Love beat Giants. Vivichachi made plays but didn't get points. Instead, all the points went to Steelback, who ended with 37, almost 38 points. Got 11.05, 400 CS. Call that pretty good.
Go steal back.
Go back.
Yeah, this game.
I think he ended up scoring pretty well this week, right? He ended up scoring mid-40s because, like, pretty much because of this game.
Yeah.
Fox goes 1-1-14, goes 27.81, and Hillisang goes 24.8 points.
Yeah, Unicorn definitely looks really good.
I have to say
Added the
something.
scores. It was a pretty.
So I watched this game,
I-
and I have to say, Chachi, he was such a key player in this game, and his points did not reflect that in this game. Because the reason why
He was on his like suicide missions on
Yeah.
Poppy. It was great.
he was just like picking one target, and he's just gonna like mess their face up. And like that's literally all he did, and he turned every fight into a 5v4. But like he only got those 1 assist for
4v4.
every picks that he got. Well, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't.
He like
4v4.
fucked up every single team fight and got 1.5 points.
Yeah.
So like
But- Yeah.
his efforts in the game
He has a right idea.
were didn't translate into points. It's kind of like in basketball when you set picks, you don't get an assist for setting a
Yeah.
pick. Unfortunately, he's just role playing.
Vivichachi playing the team game, padding everyone else's score.
Yeah.
He took a hit. He's like, Dan bothered to learn my name. That's enough for me. Get a week off.
And you fucking caused me to lose this week. Where was
It's
your
okay.
50 points?
It's okay.
God damn it.
All right, and then
This is like okay. Well, the next game is like, okay, I'm just gonna say this before I cut Zisha off. I'm sorry, Zisha, I'm gonna let you finish, but Fnatic versus G2 is like the reverse TSM-C9 game. Alright, okay.
Okay, so Fnatic G2. All right, we go into the game. They have massive, like early kills, early dives and shit, right? Make the big plays, flashy shit, and it's like, oh man, they're gonna crush Fnatic, all right? And don't even need to watch the rest of the game. And then they just play like shit from like the first 10 minutes onwards.
They like
Uh,
they're like, yeah, we don't need to get awards. We pretty much got this game in the bag. Let's just like try to go ham on every play, and then fucking Fnatic.
they like
started-
had no synergy and just kind of flopped around. And then Reckless got 2 items and turned on, and eventually, after a grueling high-point game, Fnatic won. Gamsu got a ton of points, and Reckless played Kog'Maw. But it was still like a super friggin' bloody game, right?
Yeah.
So,
I
high
think
points
that's
for
the
everybody.
thing with G2 games. G2 is pretty bloody.
Yeah, they have some high
Are
points.
they like the
scoring games.
bloodiest? I'm pretty sure they're the most consistently bloody like top team.
I hope
Which is
C9 turns
great
into
for
that.
fantasy.
I'll take it.
They don't give enough respect to their opponents.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
with
like,
not buying
they're
wards,
still good enough to
definitely.
win them. They're just super bloody.
I think there was one point where like somebody bought, rather than buying a pink ward, which they were already short on wards to begin with, they bought a potion instead. Like, what the fuck? Why do you need a potion? It's like 20 minutes into the game. What is a potion gonna do?
More murdering.
More murdering.
So dumb.
Yeah, like I don't have anyone from G2 on my team, so I don't like them much. But if I had someone, I'd be happy to have them because, damn, these guys duke it out.
Well,
These
that's
guys
why
duke it
Dan's
out.
been like winning the split up till.
Yeah, that's why
G2.
Randy's on freaking Rampage because he has like a crap ton of players from
It's
G2.
Kikis and
I have 2 players
Emperor.
from G2.
Kikis and Emperor. They're so
Emperor and
crazy.
Kikis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have Rainover, which is good. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so, look, even in their loss, okay, Trick 26 points, Kick is 29 points, Hybrid 30 points, Perks 34 points, Emperor 35 points, right?
Emperor.
In a loss, which is pretty good for G2's week. I'm pretty, like, they all ended up pretty much on the top of the week's
Yeah, they all had
boards,
around
right?
like 50-ish points and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you can't really
And
complain.
then,
I think only
but
C9
Fnatic
really
won, so
beat them.
yeah, Fnatic won, so they got good scores too. Febun 27, Reckless 28, Gamsu 31.
I want to preface this by saying that this week I took a gamble on my team and I actually started Febvin mid. Because I was like, hey, you know what? If they like, I know G2 is gonna be a slugfest, so maybe like Febvin can pick up like maybe like 18, 20 points, and then like they can dumpster on Splice in day 2, so they can like he can maybe like end like 35-ish points. Then I'll be pretty happy because that's exactly what I need Febvin to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, everything went better than expected.
yeah. I thought at this point in time, this is the Thursday, right? I was like, okay, I have a shot. I have a chance of beating Dan this week.
What a roller
Because
coaster.
Febvin did a lot better than I expected him to do in game 1.
Headshot.
But then obviously that is not the case.
Alright, so following that, Vitality versus H2K. I think Vitality is starting to be one of my favorite teams because they are like, okay, this game was probably the most intelligently played game by both sides that I've seen in LCS that I can remember. It was an hour-long game, but it was really low kill, but not because they weren't doing things, but because they were both teams got to the point where they were like super careful and super cautious about every single thing, and it was actually a really good game, even though everyone was complaining that it was like a snore fest. It was like my favorite game of the week. Ryu comes back and then gets solo killed in mid.
Yeah, he didn't have a good start to start the week.
Yeah.
he
Cabo
makes
got
up for
pretty
it.
much owed all those points. Yeah. But you know what? That was a game that that everybody figured out that you could Thresh Lantern out of double bomb stun. It's like everyone's like, this can happen. That would have been such an easy, like, that's such a fast game if that wasn't the case, but it was this Thresh Lantern MVP. Also, Forgiven has the worst Kog'Maw build I've ever seen. He, like, builds CDR
that what you
boots,
said
Worse than
and
double
like, he
lift?
doesn't even... And,
What was his
he
build?
like,
He
built
had-
CDR boots, which is questionable, but, like, it lowers his flash and his W cooldowns and stuff. But then he also built, like, just weird-ass items besides that. and I was
Mercurial
like,
Scimitar, Blade of the Rune King, Maw of Malmortius, Coincy's Rage
You
Blade,
could have gone in
and
with him.
Runin's Hurricane.
Whatever. He got 50 plus points for me this week, so like whatever.
He does what he wants.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, 2 top teams of EU.
That was a really good game. I'm starting to really like Vitality, even though they're like always horrible point scorers and they suck for fantasy. I really like them.
CLG EU.
Yeah. basically, except they're better.
Yeah.
All right, day 2, Giants versus
The old CLG EU.
yeah, Giants versus Elements. Nothing to see here. It's actually pretty low kill. Like we were just saying, these games are going to be high kill, but no, this one was low kill. X-Heavy got 22 points. 8-1-2 is kind of boring besides that.
Apparently, within the bottom 4 teams of EU, like the bottom feeders is Rockets and Giants, and the mid feeders is Splice and Elements. So technically, what this was, it's a minor upset because Giants beat what should we call it? Elements. Yeah.
And it
All right,
wasn't
okay, so,
it wasn't an entertaining game either. It was
Yeah.
pretty shitty game.
All right, okay, so next game was Vitality versus Unicorns of Love, and man, yeah, Vitality, they are solidifying themselves as like very control and like they do really well and stuff. And yeah, they actually look really strong. The first couple of weeks, I was actually kind of unsure about Vitality because they're like, hey, they're not scoring that many points, they're not winning a whole bunch either. But now they're proving me wrong. They did pretty well against Unicorns. It was a little bit of a slugfest. There was like more kills than I expected them to be. But then, in the end, like Vitality did come out on top. So Vitality got the win with 3 Dragons, 1 Baron, 10 Towers for 17 points, which is a pretty average good scoring. Kasing as a support got 23 points, which is really good because Kasing was kind of low scoring and he didn't pitch. So like as a podcast, we weren't so sure about Kasing in the beginning. Stick as a jungler got 27 points, which is pretty high scoring for a jungler. 4-11 with 124 CS. So yeah, so Shook has historically been a very low point scorer, but in the recent weeks, since like week 4 or so, he's been steadily getting more and more and more points. I think in week 3 he was like 14 points and he jumped to 16, 18, 20, and now this week he averaged like 20, 21 points or so. So yeah, if you haven't started picking up Vitality players, pick them up now. Same with Cabochard. He's yeah, holy crap, Cabochard. He's picking it up and he's becoming one of the more dominant top laners in EU. And I don't know if there's any other top laners other than like maybe Oldawame, which can like rival him in terms of like threat level. So yeah, it was a pretty crisp game, as in, it went pretty quickly. There wasn't a lot of like dilly-dallying. Just went straight for the jugglers. And so this was one of those games where they actually like did the Quinn well, where they kind of baited the Quinn out to get the Malphite counter pick, and then they switched Lulu top lane, was it? Or like I forgot who they swapped, but they swapped someone top lane to like counter pick the Malphite, and they actually put Quinn mid, which is totally strong. Yeah, Quinn has worse matchups in mid lane, but her roaming potential has like increased, and this is coming from a dirty Quinn main. So yeah, props to Vitality. I'm against the fan. And then OG versus H2K. Yeah, whatever. OG is just like. So let's see. HTK got the win. The first blood, 2 dragons, 1 Baron, 10 towers for 18 points, which is, once again, good for a team. I mean, anytime a team scores more than 15 points, you'd be pretty happy. Vander, 20 points, got like 0, 2, and 13, which is pretty good for support once again. Ryu, yay! He actually looks like he's back to form now. 609, 300 CS for 28 points.
It's just a false start.
Forgiven?
False start.
Yeah. Forgiven got like 30 points this game, which is really good. That put him over like the 50-point threshold, so I'm actually really happy. He farmed the shit out of this game. He got like 450 CS, which is like, it's like pretty good. That's like an extra 4. He got 445 CS, so that's like 4 points, 45. So yeah, that's quite a lot of points. And Yankos for a jungler, he got 32 points, which is once again really good. I think Yankos is probably second best jungler in EU right now after Trick2G. So yeah, that's pretty good for OG. And then the last game was like Splice versus Fnatic. But I just want to bring back to like how I said, I took a gamble with Featherman this week, and it's like, okay,
Wait, this is not the last
versus
game.
G2.
There's one more, there's Rocket.
Fourth game, sorry. Sorry. So like I mentioned back, it's like I decided to take a gamble with Febiven. I was like, if he can survive that slugfest with G2, which he did, then it means like I can bank on Fnatic beating Splice, so that Febiven can get like maybe 45 points or like 30, 45 points, and then I'll be pretty happy. No, they got dismantled. Febiven went 0-2, got like 2 points that game from farming. Reckless went 0-2, Spirit went 0-2, Gamsu went 0-4, Clyde went 0-3. Fnatic dropped the ball on that one. Props to Splice, they played really well, but holy crap, was I really disappointed at Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic.
Thank God I dropped Fnatic last week.
Fnatic got skunked pretty damn hard. Like 0 kills. 0 freaking kills against Splice. Like, if Tao was here, we would just be trolling her just nonstop.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why Tao's not here today.
Maybe. She knew. She knew.
Yeah. Like, the disappointment of this game for Fnatic overweighs, like, the excitement for Cloud9, so, it's okay.
And maybe it was
it's how we understand.
Maybe it was just Crepo, because right before the game, Crepo was talking about, like, oh, I wish, like, Kabi would actually play as good as he could be. Like, he hasn't had any good games at all, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, he, like, he pretty much carried them at the end.
Just went off.
With his freaking...
No, but Wonderware did a really good job that game.
Yeah, Wonderware did a really good job. He completely dismantled Gamsu. Yeah. Okay, Wonderware dismantled Gamsu. I forgot who the jungle... Trashy. Okay, boys, this is like Trashy versus the OGN champion Spirit, and he out-jungled him. It's like, well, so Fnatic really dropped the ball here. But once again, like, maybe not this split, Fnatic. Maybe not this split. So, all right, last game we have Rockhead versus the King of Slugfests. Dan, did you watch this game?
I believe I did. Okay, yeah. So after that loss that G2 had in day one, I think they knew that they were dicking around too much, and they looked way more refocused in this game. They did a lot better with their warding and vision control, and just pretty much dominated most of the game, and didn't let the other team come back at all. They finished it quick. So like you can
It was
see,
only
like,
26 minutes.
yeah, the team won. They got first blood. They got 3 dragons, 1 bear, 9 or 8 turrets, and also they won in less than 30 minutes. So like they were just on point to this game. They were focused. 19 points in total. The game ended pretty quick, so nobody really did crazy. Like everyone still did good, but only Trick managed to like break that 25-point barrier with 4 kills, 10 assists, 134 CS. He had 10 plus assists, and he ended up with 26.34 points. So it was pretty nice. They also there were 3 ADC bans, which is pretty interesting. Like you don't
Banned
see a
out
lot
tabs.
yeah, you don't see a lot of ADCs getting banned at all. So like it's pretty funny that they kind of banned out tabs. They're like bullying it.
And nobody played GP this game either. No, they was banned. Sorry, GP was banned.
All right. They
But
banned
I
out
don't
tabs
understand
because
why
tabs.
Rocket didn't pick up Lucian.
Also,
I still think Tabs is a very good player on a bad team.
yeah. Also, Kikus, he was throwing some dirty hooks from Nautilus. Like he was like threading the needles at some points, and all he did was basically grab Betsy. They blew him up, blew him to shit, and then it was pretty much like 5v4 for those fights. Like once Betsy was out, there was a huge chunk of their damage. So yeah, good job on Kikus for like helping the team win that quickly.
All right, so all right, in general, pretty exciting EU LCS. It's like one of the first ones that I actually listened in, because like I got a new job and I can actually listen to podcasts at work. So I had the LCS stream on while I was working away. That's pretty good. Yeah, as players that did really well, as expected from like G2, Slugfest, they did really well. Fnatic was really disappointing. And other than that, it's like this week in general is like really high point scoring week. And like everyone in both NA and EU, they just basically like fought the crap out of each other, and a lot of people got like over the 50-point horizon. So like yeah. So let's look ahead to the next week. So this week we're gonna do things slightly differently. We decided to just like rank the players according to the strength of schedule and then go from there. So we can kind of share on what we do believe is like the strongest top 8 of each position. So like yeah, each position and team. So we can like take a pick. So yeah, let's start with the top lane. So Dan, do you want to take it away?
I think Randy should.
Okay, so number 1, we have Huni. They're facing CLG, Echo Fox. That should be no problems for Immortals. Charbonchard from Vitality.
Hold on,
We
can I
have him
interrupt you?
second. Okay.
I'm just looking at this list here, and everyone can see this as well too. Like all of these first picks are all Immortal players.
Pretty
Guess
much.
it.
I mean, it's hard to not pick Immortal player.
As much
And
as
the
I like
reason we're picking Immortals is like,
as much as I like Immortals, I didn't pick any of them first. Just because I'll explain my reasoning later, but yeah, carry on.
okay. Well, actually,
have,
I think we should just like. Okay, there's one thing I want to point. Sorry to cut you off, Randy. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
But there's one thing I want to point about EU LCS next week. None of the top 4 teams are facing each other.
Yeah.
Therefore, like each of the top 4 teams have a relatively easy week. I mean, some teams are facing Origin and Fnatic, which is not too bad. Like you could expect them to pull out with a win, but yeah, none of like. G2, Vitality, H2K, and Unicorns of Love, they are not facing each other. So therefore, like you expect like the top players in EU to like score really well, and in NA it's just like a clusterfuck. So whatever.
Yeah. So
Okay.
everyone thought Huni was gonna be number 1. They picked Huni for the number 1. I picked Chachi. I still believe, just because of the matchup situation. I'm gonna
Oh
get a
boy,
50
have I
point
got
week
news
from
about
Chachi.
Unicorns of Love for you?
Okay. So recapping, we have Huni number 1, Charbonchard number 2, Vizzy at number 3, Odo at 4, Kikus at 5, Impact at 6, Hanser at 7, and Balls at 8. I think only around later did we actually have a lot of deviation. I think around 6, 7, 8. Some people had KFO, some people had Gamsu, but no, I think this is what we had in the end. I think people are high on Impact because of the weak schedule they have against Renegade and Tip.
I'm always gonna pick Immortals first, and first of all, Huni just won me the week. I'm always gonna pick Huni because he is like probably the strongest top laner, but players who win score more points, and I feel like no one can like I don't trust I trust Immortals not to lose. Therefore, I put my money on Huni over every other top laner.
I think
And like if I pick another top laner, it'd probably be for flex.
I kind of agree with you in a sense that teams that win do score good amount of points, but the thing with Immortals is that they win so quickly and so dominantly that sometimes the other team doesn't even get to fight. Like they're just smothered the entire time, and they're like they can't do anything. So that's why I put Chachi ahead of everyone else, because he's facing Rockcat and he's facing Spice, and I think he can shit on those 2 top laners easily. And for me, I put Huni in 3rd because I think Cabo is going to do better than him as well too, just because he's facing Giants and Elements. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Cabo does have a pretty easy schedule.
I put Huni in 3rd because I think he will do well, but just based on matchups, I think Chachi and Cabo will still do better than Huni. But we'll see.
Alright, actually,
I think it's going to be a slugfest.
We'll
Immortal
see.
versus CLG is going to be a big slugfest for a lot of points. And
I don't
Echo
know.
Fox has made some noise lately too.
I don't know
So like
if
Echo Fox is
Immortals.
going to put up a fight.
I don't know if Immortals is willing to go into a slugfest with CLG. Like that's not. That's maybe
I
not
think
a team that
CLG
they
will get
want.
too outplayed in every lane.
Yeah. So
I think CLG will get too outplayed in every lane and just be too far down to actually have a slugfester to carry out their strat.
Actually, let's talk about the 6, 7, 8 of each pick, because like obviously the top 5 is probably pretty cemented. Let's talk about like the not like the kind of more fluid ones, which is 6, 7, 8. So our consensus is like Impact, Hanser, Balls, but like what do you guys say about those? Other than like Impact having a very easy schedule.
I'm okay. I think
Impact would
Hunter and Balls are pretty close to each other. 7-8 is pretty close because TSM's facing Echo Fox and Team Liquid, while C9's facing Dignitas and CLG. So they both have a chance to score well.
I didn't put Balls in at
I
all.
think
I put Gamsu in 7th. Just based on matchups as well.
Yeah. I'm actually like I was actually really reluctant to put Honster and KFO for my 7 and 8 because Honster is facing KFO. And one person is going to do well. It's unlikely both of them does well, so like one of them is going to do worse. And yeah, it's like a tough matchup. So
They could just trade
TSM and Echo
kills.
Fox can bring each other to a slugfest, though.
Yeah.
I
They
have
can
no
just
idea.
get traded
I
kills.
think so. I think so.
I think that's actually really likely.
Yeah.
And I
And,
just feel like Impact has an easy week, easier than like Balls or Hanser, but he's like really low points on.
He is.
Yeah, because they're putting him on tanks.
Yeah.
Putting him on
So,
tanks.
like, even if he has an easy week, it's not guaranteed that he'll score that phenomenally.
Okay.
Balls and
I'm
Hanser
hoping he gets a
both
ton of
have-
assists. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Balls especially has the potential to score really, really high, but only if they have 2 dominating wins, or at least 2 very bloody games.
Yeah, I think it's not going to happen with CLG. That's why I didn't pick Balls. I think also like Balls excels. Like I mean, he has that one good GP game and that pretty good Lulu game, but then Balls traditionally plays a lot of tanks, and so that's what I feel like he's going to play, or like especially during CLG, like with CLG where it's going to be very like macro play oriented because that's how CLG likes to do things. So that's why I'm not too sold on Balls this week.
I wasn't sold on Balls.
Anything
Any
else
other
to add?
comments?
He wasn't
I'm
even
not
in my
sold,
top
but
8.
I have some faith in him.
Yeah.
Because I think C9 will beat CLG mostly, but
All right, junglers.
Number 1, again, an Immortal player, Rainover. We have tied second place between Jankos and Trick. In 4th, we had Rudy, but then he just got waived. 5th, we had Shook. 6th, we have Dardock. 7th, Rush. And then 8th, Svenskeren? Yeah.
Spencer.
Yeah. So, surprisingly,
Rudy just got
with
waived.
yeah, and they had a
Rudy just got
huge,
waived
easy
for the Rocks.
matchup against Rockhat and Splice.
Damn it. By the way,
No,
Again-
damn it. I had Rudy.
again, I was the
I
only
think-
person
I
that
think
didn't
if you
pick
lose
Rainover
Rudy-
first. I put Jankos as my first pick. Just saying, so you guys have records of this if it does happen.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Trick first because G2 is the Slugfest team.
I put him second. I put Rainover 4th. I put
Yeah,
Rudy. I
like
put
absolute
Rudy
disrespect
3rd.
for Rainover.
I put Rudy 3rd, but I would probably move Rainover to 3rd now that Rudy's gone. But I don't think it's disrespect. Like I said, I think it's just because Immortals is too dominating. I like these slugfests.
they
These
win
are-
games too fast.
Jankos and Trick are gonna go into slugfests.
Rainover is always a very high kill participation, though. So
Yes.
He's a pretty
that's why I
aggro
think
one.
even in dominating games, he scores very well.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Lulex replacing Rudy? Do you think it actually changes all that much?
I haven't looked
No.
at it at all, to be honest.
I think from what I've watched Rudy play, he's like really ham. I don't know if Lulex is that ham. Like evidently, I haven't watched a lot of Lulex.
Did
But
they?
I have heard that every jungler they play with just gets micromanaged by Vivitachi, and Rudy honestly is just like a random solo queue jungler. Like Lulex has experience, and if he can get micromanaged, like he's not weak mechanically from the last time we saw him. I
It's
don't
too late
even
now. I
think
picked
it'll
up
be-
Shook.
I don't think it'll be very different at all. I might
Alright,
be
well-
completely wrong, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, we'll get back to this in our next week's podcast.
How wrong was Isha?
But surprisingly, with the week schedule for NRG, Moon was not in the top 8.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Moon's a
Just a
shitter.
white guy.
Not for us.
Moon's a shitter who doesn't even speak.
He was
the
in
language of
Riot's
the
top
team.
8. You know what, Riot?
Yes,
Well,
these
Riot-
were actually ranked
Riot
Riot
third
is
in
really
Riot.
sucking that energy D. All right.
Like Impact was ranked #1 for top laners at 40
That's
points.
never gonna happen. Literally
That's
never.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, for junglers, like, I put Dardoch in there because he's like an aggressive jungler, but like I'm really not too sold on. Yeah, like Team Liquid right now. They are kind of like
Yeah.
quite like in the ditches right now. I picked Moon just because it's an easy schedule and maybe hopefully he'll pick up like a couple of assists here and there. And I picked Hard because I might as well hop on the Echo Fox wagon.
I'm concerned about Dardoch as well.
I'm reserving all judgment of Echo Fox until the end of this week.
Yeah, I think after this week we'll have a good like, and then there's gonna be a mad scramble for Echo Fox, or we just leave them where they are.
Yeah,
Or if TSM just plays like shit and Echo Fox just wins anyways, then we'll wait till next week and see.
Team Liquid is a bit concerning, so I am concerned about Dardoch as well. But yeah, hopefully they can turn around eventually. But they look hurt.
So some of the other people that were mentioned were Hard, Xmithy, Moon. They didn't quite make it, but they got some mentions at 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like once again, Moon, like Energy has like a really easy schedule. So honestly, if Moon doesn't score okay this week, I don't know what's gonna help him.
Nothing. I think Energy is done.
Is Xmithy Dignitas?
Xmithy has like a super hard
No,
schedule.
he's
What
CLG.
the hell?
Oh, CLG. Okay, never mind then.
They're facing Immortals and Cloud9. They're gonna get. I don't.
So I don't know what
they're
I was thinking when you put Xmithy against Rainover.
Honestly, I didn't.
Smithy's doing man ammo.
I didn't put him against Rainover.
Put Smithy down. Damn, what the hell?
Yeah, I put
No,
Xmithy
but
down.
I don't know why you even have him in the top 8.
Oh, just because I didn't know who else to put.
I wouldn't put
wanted to
Smithy
stop
top
at
8
6.
even if they had an easy.
I wanted to stop at 6. I didn't even want to put Rush in there.
Alright, anything else to
Moving
add
on to-
for junglers?
No,
Yeah, let's move on to mid.
I think that was
So
the
in mid,
hardest one for me.
in mid, so we have a Pole Belter at 1, Perks at 2, Fox at 3, Jensen at 4, Ryu at 5, GBM at 6, Nuke Duck at 7, and Bjergsen at 8.
Guess you didn't.
Surprisingly,
Guess you didn't pick Pole Belter. This guy. I put
So,
Perks as first.
You guys
Riot
didn't
had-
rank Nuke Duck higher?
but no, Riot had GBM at 1. He's expected to score 44 points. Clearly, none of us have that faith. We have him
Well,
6th.
He is against Renegades in Team Impulse.
Wait, why is
The
Nuke Duck at
Renegades?
7?
Who's
He's
the
like,
Renegades? Is that Alex?
he's super. Okay, Nuke Duck has Vitality has a super easy weekend, but Vitality looks really convincing.
Yeah.
Did I make a mistake?
I don't know, but I definitely
No,
do
it's
not
just 'cause
think
a lot of
Nuke
people
Duck's the
didn't even
7th
put
best
Nuke Duck
mid
on.
laner this week.
I
this
Yeah,
didn't
week.
put
no, I
Nuke
took a
Duck
dump on Nuke Duck. Yeah,
I
have absolutely no faith in Nuke Duck.
I don't believe in Nuke Duck either.
I put Nuke Duck a little lower just because Vitality is always such a low kill team. It's
Yeah.
stomps.
I don't believe in Nuke Duck.
Like
No.
they're like the reason Gen doesn't pick Pobelter except even harder in low kills.
I put
It's
Pole Belter
like-
fourth.
Dan even bother
Dan, you
ranking
put
GBM.
Phoenix in? What the hell? Do you
Yeah,
trust
I put
Phoenix?
Phoenix in. Me and
Really?
Dan put in Phoenix over Nuke Duck.
Yeah, I put
Who's,
Phoenix in.
who's TL facing?
Tip and TSM. They have one easy, one hard.
Yeah. I think
I don't know,
Phoenix
the way
can
TL is
beat-
playing recently, it's like 2 hards.
Phoenix can beat Impulse for sure.
Pulse.
And then
Yeah.
I think my decision on this one was based on the fact that I think TSM is tilting. It's either gonna be they're gonna continue tilting, or Bjergsen's gonna somehow pull something out of his ass and like play like a god this week.
No Nuke Duck at all?
No, I don't like it.
No, Dan, I don't believe.
I would
I-
accept it if you had Nuke Duck at 8 and not like I'm okay with Froggen at 6, but I'm not okay with Phoenix at 8 over Nuke Duck.
What about Pole Belter at 4?
Pobelter's score is okay. I don't
So
think
high.
Pobelter's a care. Like, yeah, I don't think Pobelter is like that severe point scorer, but you know, like you score points when you win, so I'm always gonna put Poeta first.
Uh,
Oh man.
yeah, so
We're gonna
to be
find
fair,
out if Duck was good this week. I'm about to get shot in the chest.
Riot does have New Duck at 3rd. We have him at 7th, so we'll see.
I think Nuke Duck can score that highly, but only if one of their games gives them a bit of a run for their money.
We're about to
Otherwise,
lose
he's
all
just gonna
credibility
go-
in our podcast.
You know what? I feel like if somebody doesn't give Vitality a challenge, Nuke Duck's just gonna go like 2-0 and 2 in both games, and it's just gonna end with him with like no points because the game's ended too fast.
That's what we expect. He's not aggressive enough for me.
But they're very measured. They don't need to like get kills to be.
To be
like,
fair, I'm not
second
high
place.
on any of the Vitality players, even though they have an easy week. I'm pretty consistent.
Just watch me lose to Michael this week. Because I
I
have
think
like
Charbot is the
three
only person I'm
Vitality
high
players.
on Vitality.
Like 3 Vitality players.
Do we
I'm
want to
actually
move to
okay
ADC
with
now?
Vitality.
Yeah.
But I'm really big on
Let's move to
UOL
ADC.
and G2 this week. Really big.
Okay. So for ADC, we have Wild Turtle, Steelback. Wild Turtle at 1, Steelback at 2, Emperor at 3, Forgiven at 4th, Sneaky at 5th, Yarnin at 6th, Double Lift at 7th, and Piglet at 8th.
Guess who didn't pick Turtle
Compared
first?
to Dan had
You know,
Steelback.
okay, this one I'll take. And like honestly, our consensus for ADC, I'm okay with. It's like I've nothing to add to this. It's like, yeah. Oh, by the way,
is the week-
update. Alltech got benched. Alltech benched himself.
Well, I'll take bench himself.
Haha.
And
That's shit.
LOD's playing for him, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, lots
Yeah,
loads playing for him.
I don't have much faith in that. But
So this was pretty easy. There wasn't any crazy picks by anybody.
Me.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like top
basically
3.
the same thing, except Dan put Turtle lower.
I
But
put Turtle
it's the same
third.
8 players pretty much.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I
Rip.
gotta use
Uh-oh.
this scene.
Oh. But yeah,
Oh, he came back.
I don't know, like this is the week where Wild Turtle gets a penta and then I beat Dan. That's my hope.
Why not? Why
See how
not?
that goes.
He deserves it for the disrespect of ranking him 4th. Or 3rd.
Even last time you played me, Turtle did pretty damn
Hands out to
good.
disrespect immortality.
I'm
Okay.
I'm an Immortals fan too, and I really like Wild Turtle, but I just don't believe. I really think UOL and G2 have a really good week this week.
Yes. Okay, that I'll accept.
That's
I'll
why I
accept
put
that.
Turtle third.
I wouldn't be surprised if G2 was completely at the top of the the entire team was at the top of the leaderboards
Yeah.
this week.
And if you look at my picks,
I'll take
my
it.
picks reflect that.
Okay. So for support, we actually have a consensus this time at number 1 for Adrian.
Oh yeah, that's
They
no
stopped playing
argument.
games.
Oh yeah,
That's
because
no
he has
argument.
Adrian on his team, of course.
So we have Hybrid at 2, Hillisang at 3, Vander at 4th, Hai at 5th, Kasing at 6th, 7th for Konkwan, 8th for Yellowstar. Riot again, surprisingly had Kasing at 1, and he's expected to score 41. So we're very skeptical about how Kasing's going to score 41 above Adrian.
Yeah, no
I
way.
feel like Kasing scores 30 points in like a very easy 2-0.
Yeah.
I think Kasing is gonna
I
do
really don't expect him to
decent.
score more than 30-something points.
He's gonna do pretty good, but obviously Adrian's been scoring like 20 points a game. You can't not put him
Yeah, because
first.
he plays supports that never die.
Yeah. So that's the one guy I have in the top for Immortals.
I don't know if Konkwan still belongs up there now that his lane partner got removed, but then again, what's his face? Alltech was also kind of disappointing me a lot lately.
Yeah.
I think by virtue of an easy week, we have to like put Konkwan up there because like assuming that they just roll over their opponents.
What
Because they're only facing
well,
Renegade and Tip.
I mean, okay, so earlier this week I was watching one of the, I think it was the game they played against, what was it, TSM?
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me find it. TSM. My one note for that game is Freeze's shit in lane because he played Caitlyn and got harassed a bunch. Like, the camera panned to him, and he got autoed by Lucian and couldn't return a single auto, and I was just like, Freeze's shit. But maybe he'll be able to beat Kangkwan and LOD. And then Kangkwan will have a really bad points week.
Yeah, no faith. We have him at 7. I think what Riot had Kangkwan at 4th to score 36.
I don't think
No,
that's
we don't agree.
Well, it might, because they might be super sloppy and just have 2 50-minute games against, like,
Yeah,
bottom
that's
teams.
true.
I have him at 6,
Who
so I'm right in
knows?
the
I
middle.
think Renegade is capable.
You know what? Even if they have 50-minute games with, like, 30 kills, Kangkwan, like, the entire energy team is only going to get, like, 30% kill participation, and it's still going to be trash. No faith. I'm no faith in this team. I'm so disappointed in them.
Okay, let's move to teams. So we have, surprisingly, a non-Immortals pick. We have Vitality at number 1,
Yeah.
Immortal at number 2,
People
Unicorns
agree
of Love
with
at
me.
I'll take
3rd,
it.
People agree
G2 at
with me.
4th, H2K at 5th, NRG at 6th, C9 at 7th, and TSM at 8th.
Team
Surprisingly, surprisingly no Team Liquid.
No,
And surprisingly, Vitality somehow took first. Anyone want to
The
explain why they
reason
put
that
Vitality first?
Vitality is such low point scores for their players is also the reason that Vitality is such a, like, consistent high point score for the
For the
team.
team.
It's because they
Yeah.
just mow down towers and not even give a shit.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, I'll take that.
And then Immortals does that too. They're gonna
Yeah.
have a tougher week, but they still do that a lot.
My first 4 teams is something that Max did mention earlier. It's because EU, they all have their top 4 teams playing like bottom 4 teams. And that's why I
yeah.
believe they're going to be doing better than Immortals. I have Immortals 5th.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take it.
But Immortals is my top NA team. I just think EU's gonna have an amazing week this week.
I'll take
Unless
it.
you only have the bottom teams, then rip.
I'll take that. I'll take that rationale.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I am wondering if we should put CL. Like, I was really struggling if I should put like CLG in there. They're like facing an impossible week with C9, but they're such a good team, scoring team that, like, I mean, yeah, scoring team that's like. I was wondering if I should have CLG, but like, never mind. Their week is tremendously hard. Top 2 teams in NA. So you know what? Just to err on the safe side of caution, just don't pick CLG.
That's how I feel as well.
I had a really hard time picking anything from 6th, 7th, and 8th. It was just super hard.
Look at what I did. I just did brackets. I mean, I just did slashes. It's
My
like TSM slash
7 and 8 are
energy slash
just-
C9.
My 6, 7, and 8s are just teams that have like one easy game and probably one not so easy game, but like games that they still feasibly could pull out really big in.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Alright, so that's pretty much it for
Alright,
the
Want to move into?
yeah, we're done with the week ahead. That's what our predictions are for next week. And
Yep.
in terms of like all the fantasy stats and updates and everything that you can use for your league, that's pretty much it. And if you want to stick around, we're going to talk about our own league, and you can see how we did in
Yeah.
our own personal leagues.
Yeah, we're going to treat this as sort of like a case study situation where we just kind of analyze our wins and losses and see where we went wrong. For example, like picking up Forbidden. So, yeah.
Forbidden.
Forgiven delivered for me this week, so I'm not complaining.
So
God damn it.
winners and losers. So coming from behind, scored 278 and lost to
Holo.
biting pillow at the moment, formerly known as 1-800 Face Check, who scored 290. So there was a lot of salt throughout the entire podcast, so I don't need
It
to
went so back and forth.
that much detail
Max
into
was
it.
like, oh man, I'm so close to being able to win this, and then Huni gets a pentakill.
I was like, we
And
have a
then
difference
this-
of 0.2 points. Like, this is possible. Huni just has to die. And then he
Yeah,
got
basically,
Oh,
So Dan had like a bunch of players from G2, and like you know how the slugfest went. So like Dan got like a crap ton of points. He was like 50 points ahead of me, and then I was like, hey, you know what? If Sebevin gets like 27 points, okay, he got like 24 points the first game, and I was like, hey, you know what? If he gets like 15 points the second game, I'm totally okay with how everything is going. I'll be like on equal footing with Dan, and I can feasibly like beat him. But then like Sebevin just laid an egg, pretty much. And so
So
at that
this was a
point, I just
grudge
lost.
match?
I lost all faith.
This is
I
my
lost all faith
rival
in my
match
week.
for sure.
So
Chachi,
it's a grudge match because
they only scored 20 points for me, as you guys can see. Very disappointing. He could have been also the reason why I lost. But just to correct ourselves from previous podcasts, I actually lost to Max in week 2, not in week 1. As you can see up here by my loss in week 2. So apparently Max is my team's kryptonite. I can't beat his team for some reason.
Yeah. And you have the only wins I have is like against the Dirty Hobo and you. I haven't beaten anyone else.
I don't know how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
So the Dirty Hobo scored amazing 62 points versus Timo Sucks, who scored 291. So that's a huge margin of victory.
It's a free win, whatever.
I think Oprah Winfrey scored 299, which was
Can't
the
even say his
highest
own team's name.
of the week. Yeah, I struggle.
Oh, shit.
Life, it's okay.
Against, wait, am I allowed to say those words? F you?
Yeah, you can say it. We can say
Who
anything we
scored
want in this
226?
podcast.
Okay. Who was formerly known as Stop Disappointing. So you can tell he's pretty upset, and this week probably didn't help him at all. So moving on, Dan, you want to go talk about your booms and busts?
Oh,
You
booms and
already mentioned
busts.
how disappointing your top lane.
Yeah, so let's go back to my team here. As I mentioned, well, Trick and Perks did a stellar job. Like, they got 52. Trick got 52.40 points. Perks got 54.33. So they did solid. The long drawn out games. I love it. And then we have Chachi. Chachi he played good, but it didn't translate into points. So I was pretty kind of disappointed in that. He only got me 20.33 points, the worst on my team. Stixay did really well. 42.99 points, which I'm really happy about because I subbed Dardak and Piglet for Stixay and Trick, which did pay off for me in the end. And to give Max some credit too, even looking at my roster and my bench, there's no combination that I could have done that would have let me beat his week. So this is literally my best lineup that I could have had. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have on my
Max,
team.
you wanna give some shout outs to your players or take dumps on them?
Well, Sebevin was very. Sebevin was a little bit disappointed.
Hello.
Yeah, so he had a 25-point game 1, and then he had a 27 in game 1, and then he needed like another 15 points in order to like make me feel really good, but he didn't. So I was really disappointed. I guess Fnatic was very disappointing in that game because they literally lost the splice. Unicorns of Love went 1-1. I had Rudy, who just got waived, so bye Rudy. Yeah, he scored okay. He got like 20 points in the first game, and then he got like not a lot of points, but then like 26 points for a jungler, it's not good, but like I'll take it. It's a little bit disappointing, but I'll take it. And then Forgiven got like 53 points. Whatever, I don't care. He did really well for me. I expect nothing less than 50 points from Forgiven, honestly. HTK got 27 points, which is okay. So after the EU, I was like 50 points behind Dan because freaking Febvin couldn't get a kill for his life. And,
But you're NA though.
and then C9 happened. Oh yeah, Afro moved got 30 points. Whatever. But then C9 happened, and Sneaky with a 65-point week. Holy shit, guys.
Jesus.
Sneaky with a 65-point week. He literally put me within like 5 points of Dan, and I was like saying in Skype before the Immortals game, it's like, do you guys think my Huni can score 5 more points than Adrian? Let's find out. And like I always talk about how I hate Huni's playstyle because he's like very kamikaze. And then it was like, yeah, I went to dinner and I came back and I just saw the tail end of the pentakill. And that was it. Thank you, Huni. I think I'm going to donate to Huni's stream as well as Sneaky's stream.
God damn it.
Yeah. I don't think this success is good.
So for me, Emperor did a lot of work, scored 57. CLG did well, 37. Skillback, Kikas, Rainover, Yellow Star, they were pretty good. They were like around the average. Kikas did a good job because I bench Hanser, who like got dumped on. He was absolutely garbage the entire week, so I was happy about that one. Fox was kind of like my Febiven. He had like a very good game, and then like the second game he did like absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of bummed because I had Jensen on the bench who scored like 74. Instead, I had like
Our highest
disappointing
score
Fox.
so far, by far.
So I could have
Doubled
scored like
Fox's
way
points.
over 300.
Doubled Fox's points.
Yeah, you could have
Yeah,
broken
easily.
300 if you had Jensen.
Yeah. Well, again, if I had put Vitality in instead of CLG, I would have broken 300 too.
Yeah.
Because Vitality amazingly got 44. No, 40, I think. CLG only got 37. But they were still third. They were the third team that week with 37, so can't even get mad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my biggest disappointment of my week was Wild Turtle. Surprisingly, he scored worse than Immortals the team, and he scored worse than Darshan because he didn't really have to do anything because Huni started playing the game. 34 points.
So the current standings, we have the Dirty Hobo in last place, 0-6. We have a three-way tie for third between Oprah Winfrey, Biting Pillow at the moment, and FU, all sitting 3-3. So we finally have a split up top. We have coming from behind, falling to second place, 4-2, and Timo Sucks is sitting number one by itself, 5-1. So how do you feel?
Disappointed.
It's okay. Dan's gonna beat me next week, and then we're gonna be tied again.
I'm not confident, to be honest.
So in terms of adds and drops, I dropped CLG and I picked up High, because I was only gonna ever use them for 1 week, and so I'm done with them.
Well, you dropped CLG?
Yeah, the team.
Max
They
is
don't have
running
any
for
team
it.
coming up, I don't think.
Go do it.
CLG has a
I
hard
Vitality,
coming
I
up.
don't need them.
Alright, I picked up CLG the team. I dropped Afromu.
Okay, good job.
Max, have
So,
you changed your entire roster this week?
Yeah, he's made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adds and drops. Max, you want to explain your drops and adds?
I dropped Phoenix for Froggen, hopping on the Echo Fox bandwagon. I dropped Svenskeren for Shook. Actually, I dropped Svenskeren for Rush, and I dropped Rudy when I learned that he got waived for Shook. And actually, picking up Rush and Froggen I was just gonna use it as like a trading chip, because I was like, hey, I have Rudy, so I don't really need Rush. And then Rudy got dropped. I was like, oh shit, I'm so glad I have Rush. But now I picked up Shook. I'm deciding if I'm just gonna start Rush or I'm gonna start Shook. I still have my Feel Z's perk from like starting Rush in the early season, but then anyways. Screw Febiven, I dropped Febiven for Noob Duck. And I dropped High for Kasing. I don't even know why I dropped High, but I have a feeling Bunny Fufu is gonna come in for the Immortals game, so I dropped High.
Max
This
is
is C9, not CLG.
Max is doing what Randy was doing early season, is just dropping and adding entire teams. Like, this will do good for me this week.
Yo, you gotta take a chance.
We're at the bottom.
Dude,
You
Randy's
got
on a freaking rampage.
Oh, man.
Alright, so I dropped Darshan for balls basically earlier today. Dropped Spirit for Cabochard like as EU ended. Cause Darshan has like the most ridiculously hard week ever because they face B9 and Immortals next week.
And
or
we know how
something like
much you
that.
love him, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, balls is my one chance of having a good top laner this split if he keeps on doing well. Because Soaz is Shin Darshan is okay at best. I have no faith in Spirit, I just picked him up for like that 1 week or whatever. So Spirit for Cabochard, who has been playing really well. I guess he's also my one chance for a good top laner this split. One of them will do something.
And then,
So next week we have coming from behind versus Timo Sucks. We have the
Galactic
Dirty
battle.
Hobo versus Oprah Winfrey, and we have Biting Pillow at the moment versus FU. So anybody wanna trash talk their opponent?
my team is apparently predicted to beat Zisha's team. I'm still not confident. I don't know why.
Are you using the Rito energy deck sucking ranking or our own ranking?
This is their ranking. This is the Rito
Well,
ranking.
Dan's own ranking is he put G2 at the top of everything, and he has like half of G2.
I have Team Liquid on my team. I took out Bjergsen.
That's true.
I took out Bjergsen and I
Taking
put in
chances.
Dardoch. I really think TSM is tilted.
I think that might
Dardoch
be
will
a
do better
bad
than
decision.
Bjergsen, though.
Hey, do you want me to trade you a flex pick? I'll trade you a.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Make the offer.
I'll trade you Froggen
For
for Who do you have on your bench?
I have Bjergsen, UOL, and Stixay.
I'll trade
You
you,
don't really want any
Froggen
of
for
those.
Bjergsen.
I can't do it. I can't do it. He's either gonna tilt or he's gonna go God mode. It's one or the other.
Okay, I'll trade you CLG Bjergsen. Okay, I'll trade you CLG Froggen plus for Bjergsen and Filler.
I don't need 3 teams though, because the only guy that I would trade you is Stixay. I want to keep UOL.
Fine, I'll trade. You don't want CLG.
Oh, how about hold on, let me look at your team. I don't really want CLG. I have G2.
I have a crap ton of players from Vitality.
What is your top lane?
Huh?
What is your top lane?
Huni.
Oh,
Top lane Huni. You know who my top lane is.
I will give you Huni. I mean Bjergsen for Huni.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I think that's a decent trade.
All right, okay,
That
I'll
would be a
do
decent
that.
trade in any week besides the week following Huni's pentakill.
Yeah. I'll give you. Okay, I'll do that trade if you throw me Trick 2G as well.
No. Wait, who do you have for jungle?
I have Shook.
No.
I've Shook
there's
and
no
Rush.
way. No.
Okay, Huni and Rush for Bjergsen and Trick 2G.
No.
All right,
I
deals
can't
off.
do it.
Your loss. Your loss.
I give you.
Yeah, dude, Dan, if I manage to beat you this week, it will be because of Dardoch.
I will give you Huni, and damn,
You don't
this
have
one's hard.
Huni to give.
No, yeah, I'll take Huni from you. Huni and Sneaky. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to take some sort of
You
trash
can't have
player that
it.
you have. I know. Huni, Sneaky, and Nuke Duck. Oh fuck! I don't want Nuke Duck. I'll take
Oh
Nuke
no!
Duck.
You're taking all my players. Hell no!
I'll take Huni, Nuke Duck, and
I'll
Sneaky.
give you balls for Huni.
Wait, Huni, Nuke Duck, and Sneaky for Chachi, Bjergsen, and Stixay.
No,
No.
you have to throw in Trick.
Trick.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to throw in Trick.
Oh damn, that's tough.
It's like, okay, I'll do Huni for I'll do Huni for Trick if you throw in like Sweeteners.
Yeah, I'll give you balls for Huni.
No,
We'll have to think about this another day.
no.
I'll give you Hoohie for Huni. It's really close. It's one letter off.
All right, deals off. We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about this off camera.
Max, do you have a message for Mike?
I might as well start paying him minimum wage because he does a better job than a dirty hobo at giving free wins.
I have nothing to do. I'm against the dirty hobo.
Oh shit.
You say that, but he's tied with you.
I know. He actually beat me last time we matched up, but assuming, yeah, it's okay. I'm looking at his team. If he keeps Clyde and he keeps like Sven in, and he keeps Amazing in,
He probably will.
I'm pretty sure I can pull out a win. Okay, you know what? Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
So
you're
yeah,
projected to beat
let's
him by a lot.
have a
Yeah.
GLHF. So yeah, good luck, have fun. We'll be humble in victory and honorable in defeat.
Alright, so I guess that wraps it up for the results of our All-In Fantasy League. Hope you guys enjoy that section of it, and tune in next week to see how we destroy each other in Fantasy League, and whether or
If
not.
I actually go through for Trick 2G for Huni swap.
Yeah, let's see if this trade actually happens. We'll see. Yeah, anyway, so I guess we'll finish this off with our round of shoutouts.
Okay, so last week I made 2 predictions. One that Mr. Morales will beat Sven, and he did. Though it wasn't even like amazing. 24-21.
Barely.
Hey, the point was, the point is, I want people to know that OG is trash. And I was right. And then my second prediction was terribly off. I had Froggen outscoring Jensen. But to be fair, they were tied to be like the highest scorers 1 and 2. Froggen was the second highest scoring mid, and Jensen was the highest scoring mid. I knew Froggen was going to have a big week. He scored 55, but I don't know where the fuck Jensen came from. He got 74.
I've been talking about Jensen for the past couple of weeks. I'm like, yo, he's getting there. He's getting back into reincarnation. He's reincarnated.
It's because we need like a solid 2 or 3 weeks of C9 winning before we start having faith, and that's like just starting to happen.
We're two solid weeks into C9 winning already.
Yeah. So now we're
So
starting
for this
to have
week,
faith.
This week, I'm really high on Team Liquid as a dark horse team to beat TIP and TSM, who are playing really, really poorly. So I'm huge on Phoenix and Piglet. Those are my predictions for this week. I think those 2 guys will score surprisingly high.
That's Clairvoyant Randy's predictions. I have a prediction as well. I'm gonna say TSM keeps tilting. That's my only prediction. What about you guys?
I hope they don't, because I still have Double Lift as my flex.
I still have Bjergsen,
Double
but
Lift
maybe
score
I'll trade him.
regardless.
I'm hoping to
Yo,
trade
I
Bjergsen.
subbed up Yellow Star for high. That's how much faith I had.
Any shoutouts from Zisha and Max?
No, I'm good.
I
Okay,
hope
so,
you make terrible trades, Dan. I hope you make terrible trades with Max, and I beat you because of it.
I'll
Well,
sacrifice
anyways.
my soft, supple body for Zisha to win.
Alright, I want to finish my round of shoutouts then. Basically, we've been doing this podcast for like 10 weeks now. And if you guys go
Hey.
back to episode 1 and see where we started and stuff like that, I think we've come a pretty long way. Like, look at this. Look at this. Take a look around. Guys, take a look around.
Yeah, it's because I finally realized you
It looks
guys
so
had
nice.
no idea how to use fucking OBS and had to explain it to you.
Yo,
Like, you click this button.
hey. The point is, now we have a nice layout and everything like that. Our podcast is super nice. I think we've made a lot of improvements in terms of like what we're doing every single week as well too. Like we're constantly changing the format of our podcast. If you guys are following, you'll probably notice that. And I think we found something really nice to fit in right now. I want to give some thanks to everyone that has helped out in the now and in the past. So we have Mike, who has been in with our podcast in the past, who was kind of a comedic punching bag for us. Hopefully one day we'll see him back here so we can continue to be comedic punching bag for us. We also have Randy, who's done a lot of work with content formatting, layouts, and everything like that, getting the structure of the podcast. Also, like producing content. Zisha has been doing a lot of content. He's our like expert analyst in terms of LCS. We're all starting to catch up
Tell
to
you
him,
who's
but
shit and who's more shit.
yeah, we still got a lot to learn from Zisha. Max has done a whole bunch of work for us. Everything from graphics
Since
and
day one,
everything to
baby.
layouts. Yeah, he's my day one guy. Yeah, Max has done a stellar job. Tao, who's recently joined us, he's just kind of coming on as one of our podcast hosts and everything. So give her some time. She'll round out to a stellar cast member as well too. And then yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I did a little bit of work, but who cares about that?
Here and there.
Yeah, good job everyone. That's 10 weeks, and then let's keep this going strong, and hopefully all of you guys like what we're doing, and share this with your friends, and smash the thumbs up if you guys like what we're doing, because we need it desperately for internet.
We're ready to quit our
struggling.
jobs.
Have we had any DCs today?
Yeah, one. Randy, I think.
We had an AFK.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh yeah,
This
AFK.
week's this week's Patreon goes to Randy's internet and my Pepto Bismol.
So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for watching this week's episode of All-In Fantasy LCS podcast. Tell us what you liked and what you didn't like in the comments section below. Click the click the thumbs up button and share this video with your family and friends. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so that you can queue up with us every Monday night. Thanks for carrying. Peace.
Peace.
Dan, you got to do this. You got to do
Fine,
this. Dan.
just for this episode.
Yeah.